What's up, y'all? I'm making this video as a review of John Christner Trucking out of Sapulpa, Oklahoma, and how I got there. So, after leaving Centerline Drivers, I already had it set up that I was going to go back to Prime out of Springfield, Missouri. I live in Texas, by the way, and I drove there. They originally told me I wasn't eligible for rehire until I drove for another company for 6 months, and that's like standard. If you quit there, you can't just go right back. They don't usually do that. But I talked to the recruiter, and she was like, "Well, let me talk to your fleet manager, the safety manager, logs, this person, that person, and if they all agree, then you can come back." So they all agreed. I'm a good, safe driver. I'm on time to appointments, stuff like that. I drove to Springfield, and I started orientation week at the what they call the Campus Inn, and that's the name of the hotel that I'm in, or that I was in, and orientation happens at that hotel. Orientation is 5 days long, and they take it very seriously. So I finished everything up until the very last thing, which was what they call sim class. They take sim class even more seriously than just about anything else. It's a room that has like 10 or 12 truck simulators, and they grade you on your performance on the simulator. Now, of course, they recognize it's not a real truck, and if you don't do particularly good, then they'll just have you go over that part. No, they'll have you redo it. Not really redo it, but just kind of try to do better on this one. They have different scenarios like snow, rain, driving in city, pulling into a truck stop. The sim class was about 2 hours from starting, and I decided I was going to take a nap before I did it. I was a little tired. So I went to my room and I took a nap. I set one alarm, and apparently either I slept through it or I snoozed or something, and hit stop on it, went back to sleep. I don't know. But I woke up 3 hours late for that sim class. That was my fault. So they told me I was ineligible for rehire, but John Christner was my plan B. So they Prime kicked me to the curb, and I decided, I'm gonna, try it over there at John Christner. So I called up John Christner as soon as I found out that I was ineligible for rehire at Prime, and they got me in the next day. Like they said, "How soon can you get here? We can get you a rent car. We can get your Greyhound bus. We can do whatever it takes to get you here." I said, "Well, I can drive. I already have my car." I said, "Okay." So the next day, actually that night, I slept in my car at a truck stop. So the next day, I drove down to Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the hotel that they set me up in, and orientation is 2 days. I picked out my truck, and the way that John Christner works is it's a walk-away lease, so that's good. No down payment. I don't remember, but I don't think there's a balloon payment either. Very last payment is $1. So you keep on making your payments until right there at the end. Then you give them $1, and that's the truck's yours. It's an owner-op only company. But I drove for them for a month and a half and decided it wasn't profitable for me. But I'm not that good at pinching pennies. John Christner, they have it set where you make a guaranteed $1 a mile. Out of that $1 a mile, I believe they take out 23 cents per mile for your truck payment. I think you can get it raised up higher than that, but you won't make any profit if you do that. But you don't pay for tolls, you don't pay for renting trailers, you don't pay for washouts. You do pay for your own fuel, and your truck payments are 23 cents per mile. You don't get a fuel discount, though you do get a rebate for the fuel that you buy, and they only go through Pilot and Flying J. You can make good money with that company if you know what you're doing. There is like an algorithm to it. Like there's an equation. There's a certain way that you got to do things in order to make it work. And I'm not that good at pinching pennies, so it didn't work out for me. I was nearby my hometown in Texas. I was at the Loves in Ennis, Texas, and I called my driver manager. I said, "Hey, I'm going to need a load back to the terminal. This just isn't working for me." And she said, "Okay, well, we don't have any loads around there going back to the terminal, so you're going to have to bobtail or drive empty without a load up to the terminal and turn in your truck." Basically, that's kind of like their passive-aggressive way of saying, no, you're not supposed to quit, so we're punishing you. Because I've heard numerous other drivers say whenever they decide to turn in their truck, all of a sudden they can't get a load into the yard. Any other day, yeah, they can work it in, but that's just their passive-aggressive way of punishing you because you're not supposed to quit. So I did that, and I drove with an empty trailer all the way up to the yard, emptied out the truck, and I left. So that, I think it's I enjoyed my experience. I wasn't making any money. Not to say that anyone else doesn't make any money with that company, because I know that they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't have any drivers who's been there for, a decade, 2 decades. And they do have drivers that's been there that long. There's a formula to go by, and I hadn't figured that formula out in time, and I was losing money. So, all in all, I would say it's a good owner-op company if you're good with pinching pennies. And if you are good with pinching pennies, you can make some good money. So, all in all, I think it's a decent company. There's a pretty famous YouTuber. His name is Scotty D67. He drives for John Christner, and he's actually the one that he didn't convince me personally, like talk to me, but he drove for John Christner, and I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. And I even used his truck number as a reference when I got in. So hopefully he got some kind of bonus from it or something like that, but hopefully he didn't lose out from it either, Anyways, that's my review of John Christner Trucking. The next company that I drove for was a local road construction company called Big Creek Construction out of Lorena, Texas. That'll be in my next video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Y'all take it easy, be safe, keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. Peace. His name is Scotty D67. Oh, wow. You're still watching and you haven't hit like or subscribe? You hadn't even hit the post notification bell? Why not? Do it.